Hey everyone, welcome back, and thank you for joining me as we continue on with the next part of our live reaction playthrough for Dawntrail. So, quick recap, like we always do. We witnessed Wuklemet and Kona's coronation. It is official, they are the new Dawn servants. We kind of split up from the rest of the team. Most of them are staying behind in Tuliolo. But before we left, we were given a special pass from Wuklemet to be able to travel to the northern lands of Jacques Turel. I think that's how you say it, right? Anyway, we are passing through the Old West here in Shaloni. And as we were passing through, I'm not even going to try to pronounce some of these names while passing through here. It's just ridiculously long. Like, I thought the names, like, in Tuliolo were hard enough, but this is ridiculous. Anyway, so we ended up running into Namika, who was Wuklemet's mate. What was it? Nursemaid? Nursemaid, that's the word. So she decided that she would go home to Usalani because, she felt that Wuklemet didn't really need her anymore. She was a grown-up now. So before she left, though, Wuklemet gifted her a bracelet. Unfortunately, Namika was robbed by bandits, so we are now trying to hunt down these bandits, get the bracelet back, but we also find out that their leader is known as the Vulture. Apparently, he is a member of the authorities around here. The law enforcement here is known as the Dust Watch, and apparently one of them is corrupted, a corrupted cop, so to speak. So we are not only trying to find the bracelet, but it seems like we are going to be bringing them to justice one way or another. Anyway, that was it for a brief description. Let's go ahead and pick up immediately where we left off here. And we are about to go ahead with a plan that Urenville came up with. So Claire is good to go. And it's called Blowing Smoke. Urenville's gaze. Whatever. A fair number appear to be gathered inside. Now's our chance. I will keep watch from here. The extractant I leave to you. Toss it into the bonfire near the middle of town. The Yihisia will come soon after. Like, where do they come up with these names? Like, I'm gonna get like a cramp in my tongue just trying to pronounce some of this stuff. Alright, so let us see here. We gotta try to sneak around. So we got some bandits over there. Oh good, no one's looking. What? What can I throw it in? Oh, I see. Did not notice it. Alright, so let's see what happens. What's that smell? Ugh, that reeks! What did you put in the fire? Wasn't me, I swear. Ugh, did something die? Someone want to explain that ungodly stench to me? Yep, I knew it. So called it. Oh, so there's the bracelets. Boss, over there. This better be good. What in the world? Well, that's sure to get your attention. Run for your lives! So the smoke's what drew them here. I swear, when I find out who did this. I'd say our friends have stirred up enough trouble. Time to retrieve the bracelet. Hey, what's going on out there? I'm still in here in case you've forgotten. Hello, can I help you? Sit tight, we'll be back for you. What? You gotta get me out of here now! They're gonna kill me! I'm begging you, please! Shh, they hear you! Too late. Shit, who was that? Well, he saw him, at least, so... We lost the bracelets! Hey, you gonna help me or what? You just made things so much harder for us. The bracelet must wait. Let's break them out and withdraw for now. Yeah, maybe we can use them as fodder or something. You never know. Well, that was fun. Thanks. I owe you one. For a moment there, I thought you might actually leave me behind. It was tempting. But hey, you know what they say, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Kick up a big enough fuss. All that effort and not to show for it. Sorry about that, but damn, I didn't think anyone would have the balls to take on the Vulture. No need to apologize. We were planning to save you. Eventually. Sure you were. Really? I don't even know who you are. You secret admirers of mine or something? Well, I can see that your ego has no need for any encouragement. I'm just having fun with you, but I do appreciate the help. This man they call the Vulture. I've seen his face before. Was he not the officer you confronted in town? One and the same. When he's not masquerading as a gang leader, he serves as deputy chief of the Dust Watch. That would explain why the bandits are so confident they can avoid capture. You're trying to get back something the Vulture stole, right? Well, let me help. It's the least I could do after you bailed me out back there. I have an idea where he's hid his cash. Reckon he's headed there now, too. We can go together. I've got a score to settle with him myself. I don't doubt that you do, but we need to know what it is first. Will you tell us? Right, so, those bandits at Tonayatyo, whatever, they're called the Daybreakers, and it was me and my friends that founded the group. But it wasn't a gang of cutthroats, not back then. We just wanted to protect people who couldn't protect themselves. Kids being harassed by bullies, workers being exploited by the mining concerns, folks who needed help to even the odds. Well, that sounds oddly noble. That was 3 years ago, and whenever we found someone scheming in the shadows, we settled matters the best way we knew how, with a duel. I see. By the old laws, anyone who loses in a duel must be held to account for their crimes, even those in positions of authority. And we made damn sure they did, every time. Before we knew it, our small band of friends commanded a force to be reckoned with. Then, about a year ago, the Vulture and his thugs showed up. They got the better of us and took over the Daybreakers. Everyone was afraid of him, so they did his bidding without question. But when he showed them how they could make a fortune easily, that was when he really won them over. Now the Daybreakers is nothing but a bunch of bandits and cutthroats who prey on the people it was created to protect. Don't you hate it when that happens? All it takes is one bad egg. I talked it over with my friends, Kiakana and Liwi, and we all agreed the only way to stop him was to challenge him to a duel. And he accepted. I still remember how he gloated that he'd win. And he won? But when the day came, he showed up with the Dust Watch and had my friends arrested on charges of robbery. That wasn't enough. He set their bail at a price no one could ever hope to pay. With them locked away, there was no one left to help me. None of my old friends from the Daybreakers, and certainly not the Dust Watch. And that's why you were ready to challenge him in the middle of town. I was, till that guy with the spear stopped me. No sooner had I stepped out of town than the Vulture's minions caught me by surprise. They took me prisoner, then, well, you know the rest. You said the Dust Watch would be of no help. Are they all working for the Vulture, then? Wouldn't surprise me if at least some of them were. No, not all of them. The sheriff, Kamaka. He's as honest as they come, a staunch keeper of the peace. Problem is, he's a little too trusting and doesn't suspect a thing. For my word against the deputy chiefs, who do you think he'd believe? Yeah, I think we kind of saw that before. Well, if he knows where this Vulture keeps his spoils, perhaps he can help us recover Namika's bracelet. What do you think? For what it's worth, I have a plan, but I can't do it alone. A plan? All that I ask is that you hear me out, but not here. I'll be waiting for you at Shisin Wizard Springs. I really wish they had voiceovers here so that I can understand how to pronounce this. Guess we can decide what to do after he gives us the pitch. I mean, I'm sure it'll be okay. I mean, I made things work with worse plans. So I get why he was so angry and like ready to pick a fight. I get it. Problem is just he was a little too hot-headed and he was pretty much on his own. I mean, had he attacked him like that, then he would have gotten into a lot of real trouble, so it was a good thing Estinian stopped him. Good, you're here. This is where he hides his loot. I expect he'll show up soon. Right, law of the land. Ooh! Looks like we are gonna get a duel. We got some wild banana blends. Well, well, look who it is. Storing stolen goods here seems risky, but I suppose it's an option for someone with his authority. Yeah, he moves the spoils in cerulean barrels where no one would think to look. They're mixed in with regular shipments of fuel to Tuliolo, where they're sold off. You said he stole a bracelet of yours, right? If he knows you're on his trail, chances are he'll be eager to get what he can for it. But I doubt he'd trust a lackey with that business, given the provenance of the piece. No, I'll wager he's not letting that bracelet out of his sights till he's got coin in hand. I wasn't sure what to make of you after... whatever. But I'm glad to see you're more than an impulsive child. Well, not my finest hour, I'll admit. But there's a reason in that. The Vulture's a slippery bastard. If we're going to catch him, we need to back him into a corner with hard evidence. That's my plan. First, we need to lure him away from here. Over to Huasawa would be ideal. For that, I need one of you to play the bait. This will buy time for the other to search the barrels for any stolen goods. And using that, we'll expose him as a criminal. There's no way to tell if Wihubit's carrying the bracelet, but regardless, there will be time enough to find it once he's behind bars. But won't he simply feign innocence? Oh, he'll try, and that's when I'll challenge him to a duel. A duel? That approach didn't work out so well for your friends, as I recall. True, but unlike before, I'll challenge him in front of the whole town. That way he won't be able to wriggle out of it like before. Every man, woman, and child of the wild understands the importance of duels and the old laws. The deputy chief would never disgrace himself by refusing. But wouldn't you be breaking the law by using a firearm in town? It's not as if we'll be using live rounds, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. What's important is that I get him to duel with as many witnesses as possible. When he loses, and he will lose, that'll be the end of the Vulture. It's kind of like the trial by combat. I don't think it's really a good way to prove innocence. Plan is not without flaws, but what do you think? Yeah, we'll let him have his duel. I mean, like I said, I've made things work with more terrible plans. Thanks. I sure was lucky running into the two of you. You won't regret this, I promise. If you're satisfied, then so am I. I knew I could count on you. I was seen in... whatever. So it's probably best if I stay and search the barrels. Tell me... then you're with me. Tell the Vulture I tried to rob you, but you managed to overpower me. Even if he suspects the trap, he won't be able to resist taking the bait. You'll want to buy your friend as much time as possible and make your way to Uwasatsiwi. Once you've got the Vulture there, I'll take care of the rest. Alright then, let's get to it! I want to pronounce these names right, I really do. It's just like keyboard bashing here. You just slam a bunch of random letters together and hope it makes sense when it doesn't. Couldn't they have at least make them shorter names? Alright, we just gotta play innocence. The Yihihisia were likely that Shinoto's doing. What's his angle? Shitona's doing. What's his angle? And then there's the brats. It's past time I dealt with them. Okay, give him a poke. Why? Can you not see us standing like right here in front of you? What's this? Ah, an unfamiliar face in these parts. Have you need of the Dust Watch, miss? Oh yeah, interesting story. We were robbed and some such. What? Sokoa tried to rob you, but you apprehended him? I see. So desperate was he to see his friends freed from prison, he turned to a life of crime. How awful. You have my sincerest thanks, miss. Might I trouble you to take me to him? Alright, so he's accompanying us. We're just leading the... I guess the wolf to the slaughter, or something like that. Not really sure how to make of that. Not that this is an appropriate time for me to play tour guide, but if you insist, Shisin Springs is home to a thriving cerulean mining industry. The prospect of easy coin has attracted some undesirables, though. Yeah, it's like the gold rush, isn't it? I guess maybe an oil rush or a cerulean rush, whatever you want to call it. Question is how far is he going to follow us before he really gets suspicious that, you know what, something's not right here. Is this the place? I don't see him. Just a little further. I see. Very well, lead on. He's already getting impatient. So we have to try at least play innocent for as long as possible. Not that we wouldn't be able to take him on ourselves. Shouldn't be that hard. I'm sorry, I get distracted so easily by glowing circles. There's gold in these fields. Blue gold. Best be wary of the beasts in these parts. They may prefer to snack on cerulean, but for you, I reckon they make an exception. Are you saying that I look delicious? Well, he's not completely wrong if that's the case. So right up here, I tried to avoid the blue bombs. We're almost to town, though, so that has to be good. Is this the place, then? Sorry, I'm still learning my way around here. This is some sort of joke of all the... Let's keep moving. Yeah, we're really getting under his skin, so he's gonna be pretty mad by the time we get there. Oh no! Sorry, I do not want to have to deal with random sunbeards. And now I got two of them to deal with. Really? Alright, you wait here. No, you wait there. Let me take care of this thing. Or you could help. You know. Fire a few rounds. It's not going to be that hard. Alright, alright. This better be the place. Must have been a different rock. Yeah, I left him tied up by the rock. Must have been another big rock. My patience is wearing awfully thin, miss. If he isn't at the next place we stop, I may be forced to do something you and I would both dearly regret. What's that supposed to mean? It's not my fault. You think that you do a better job dealing with banditry and all that, you know? Are we heading away from the town? I think we are. Why? No! I don't want to deal with you freaks. Hey, Vulture guy, come on. You can help out just a little bit. It's not gonna kill ya. You know what? Maybe he's that mad at us that he doesn't want to help out. I guess that makes sense. Unless you rather I feed you one raw, needles and all, cut the chit-chat. Oh, he's really mad now. Funny enough, I don't see a big rock around here. All right, where is he? I swear I left him tied up here. I don't see him anywhere. Where is Akoa? Tell me where he is or I'll bury you in the same grave. Wow. Confound it, he must have escaped. That's it, I've had enough of these games, and I've had it with you. Hey, Wahooket, you looking for me? If you want to place me under arrest, you'll have to work a little harder. I feel like we could have done this so much easier. You'll be begging for a cell by the time I'm done with you.
Wahoote! Finally caught up to me, I see.
Thank God we got voice acting again.
Well, well, if it isn't our young outlaw. You've taken up stealing, I'm told. Can't say I'm surprised about that, but I am surprised that you'd offer yourself up to be arrested.
Sorry to disappoint, but you're the one who's going to answer for their crimes today.
Sorry. Oh, you hauled that all the way here?
Hey, that's my jewelry!
And my bag!
So you found the stolen goods. That's fine work.
This barrel was at Shisenuetsi Springs, mixed in with others bound for Tuliyola. The Landsguard would have presumed it part of the regular ceruleum shipments and waved it through. And once it reached its destination, it would have been retrieved, and its contents sold for coin.
The audacity. Do we know who's behind this?
As fortune would have it, I spied the leader of this operation being handed one of the stolen items. A bracelet, which Vau Wuklamat had intended for her nursemaid, Namika.
It was from the Vow of Resolve?
Oh, you've seen it then?
No, no, never. And if I knew who had it, I would have arrested the scoundrel.
Oh, now he's panicking. He basically stole from royalty. Yeah, come off it. We all saw you with the bracelet.
What's the meaning of this, Wuhute?
It's a setup, sir. I have the bracelet, yes, but I only because I found it. I swear.
Mm-hmm.
They're the real criminals. They concocted this scheme to frame me, so they could get me out of the picture.
If you feel your honor's at stake, there's always the old-fashioned way. The law which folks have used to settle their differences for generations.
You don't mean...
I still don't get, like, why this would work. It's just like that whole thing with the trial by
Wuhute,
combat.
I challenge you to a duel. The winner is right, the loser is wrong. Doesn't get simpler than that.
Yeah, have at it. Let your pistols do the talking! Please, do you honestly believe you can goad me into playing your game?
You refuse then? Huh. A baby alpaca's got more fight than you.
All right, boy. But remember, you asked for this. Come on, Zakawa! Give him what for!
Shouldn't we stop him, Chief? Even if it's just rubber bullets, we're in the middle of town.
Be quiet. Just watch.
I don't think that voice suits him. I'm sorry. It just sounds so strange coming from a Makote's mouth. Alright, let's see if you can put your money where your mouth is.
Oh, you little shit!
Looks like you've gotten slow in your old age, Vulture.
You and I are going to have a long talk.
I apologize for dueling in the middle of town. If you want to lock me up, then lock me up. But please, let my friends go. They've done nothing wrong.
You drew your gun within town limits.
I'm actually really
But
impressed by that.
drew first. Far as I'm concerned, you acted in self-defense. You're free to go. As are your friends.
Ha! You're not such a bad guy after all!
Just a man of the wilds, like you. But to think that Wuhute had taken control of the Daybreakers, it pains me that it happened right under my nose.
What are you gonna do about his crew? Some of them are still in Tonatenui.
Tonatenui.
Those who have broken the law will be taken into custody. But those who haven't will be given the chance to resume walking the straight and narrow. What about you, Zakua? What do you intend to do now?
Why, what I've always done. Protect the weak and help the helpless. The old-fashioned way.
No, he's really not such a bad guy.
Here, this was Vawuk Lamott's gift for someone, wasn't it?
Yes, a person very dear to her.
I suppose this is where we go our separate ways. My thanks again for your help apprehending the Vulture.
Well, happy ending then. Okay. That was a pretty nice shot, right? It ended up being rather more complicated than expected, but all's well that ends well. Phew, finally it's over. Gonna have brought him to justice without your help. I don't know how I'll ever repay you. Moving on track. Now that we have the bracelet, let us return to Sheshawisa Springs. Will you be staying here long? I'd like to give you proper thanks after I find my friends. We weren't planning on it, but there's no need to rush. We'll see you at the springs then. Okay. Let's just ride on back. Oh crap. I was contemplating, do I want to go back the long way? Or do I want to teleport? You know what? I don't mind walking a little bit. Gives us time to talk about... Like, I don't know how I feel about the whole duel thing. Like, I remember back when Heaven's Word came out, people were going on and on about bullshit with the whole trial by combat. Like, you win, you're innocent. If you lose, then you're guilty. It's based on the Fury, basically. The Fury, who the Fury would consider to be innocent. That's such a stupid way to do things. Especially since a lot of those people were, you know, jumping at shadows and just trying to find heresy among pretty much anywhere. And this kind of reminds me of that. I mean, what if he had been innocent? I mean, we all know that he wasn't, but on the off chance that he was right, okay? Like, in another universe, he was innocent and he was being framed for something, and then he lost, and then suddenly he's to blame for all that crime. Worked out well now, but that might not always be the case. And no, I'm not going to fight you guys. Anyway, I just had to say it, so I promise I won't bring it up again. I'm sorry, those no pretenders just look so much like the other cactuses. Like, that is really good camouflage, like, compared to the ones that we see around Thanalan. Like, they stick out like sore thumbs. Here, they actually blend in. Okay. Oh boy. Just bracing myself for what happens next. What's gonna happen next? I'm kind of worried. My bracelets. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is more than just a gift. It's a part of me I could never hope to replace. Truly, Wuklamat is blessed to have such devoted friends. You know, you didn't have to leave. You could have stuck around till YOLO. Well, I wouldn't put it quite that way. I prefer to think of us as more as long-standing acquaintances. Regardless of how you choose to describe it, there's no denying the depths of your bond, though I'm sure you'll continue to do so. Sounds like it. Can't say I'm surprised the deputy chief turned out to be the bandits' leader. I always knew something wasn't right about him. An easy claim to make with the gift of hindsight. That is so true. Oh, I've grown fond of this guy. Like, he's so sarcastic. There you are. The real Daybreakers have arrived. Well, that was fast. I'd like you to meet my two best friends, Kiwikaha and Linui. Wasn't for you believing in Zakua and doing what you did, we'd still be locked up. You have no idea how satisfying it was to see that bastard Wuhute put behind bars. We never gave up hope that Zakua would find a way to get us out. He always was the best of the Daybreakers. Glad he was able to convince you to go along with his plan. Well, they seem like nice people. Unfortunately, our group is smaller now and lacking in strength besides. Some outlaws might see us as an easy target. Yeah, that's a good point. Even so, if anyone should give the Dusk Watch the slip, the Daybreakers will be there. We'll train night and day, so no one will ever get the better of us again. Isn't that right? They should definitely be a lot more careful about who they let join them, though. Right, and you'll teach us how to draw your pistol so fast, won't you? Well, we won't need to duel if all goes as it should. But on the off chance it doesn't, we'd best make sure everyone can match or beat my speed. We owe you a great debt, and one of these days, I'll be sure to repay it. On that, you have my word. Till we meet again. Well, worked out well enough in the end, I guess. If you'll excuse me, I shall find a quiet place to rest. As I'll be here a while yet, though, do let me know if there is any way I can be of assistance. Were you not planning to take the train home? Oh, train service has been suspended, didn't I tell you? No, you did not! You mentioned no such thing. Something about the tracks being damaged in the last quake. The tunnel was closed as well. An earthquake must have happened when we were still down south. There have been quite a few tremors of late, and a rather large one struck not long before you two arrived. Can only hope no one was hurt. Okay, something bad is coming. At any rate, if you want to know when service will resume, you could speak with the station master yourself. Let's do that. The station is just over there. Okay, so first, not only are creatures becoming a lot more aggressive and jumpy and everything, but now we gotta deal with earthquakes. Okay, something bad is about to happen, isn't it? Because we should be done with this area pretty soon, and so we have to find out how we're going to be getting to the next place, which has to be Heritage Found. That would be the 5th zone, right? Seems people aren't too happy about the train delays. Well, of course not. Who would be happy?
I'm so sorry, but we're not sure when the train will be running again.
You've got to be joking. Of all the places to get stuck at on the way.
I mean, there's no point yelling at the guy. He can't control it.
Please don't tell me you've come to complain too.
We heard that the earthquake had caused disruptions and wanted to ask when operations would resume. But I see that it will be a while yet.
I'm afraid so. Too few hands for too much work. It's time-consuming enough to inspect the tracks after every quake, but this last one we got after the succession ceremony was massive. Made a mess of a whole bunch of railroad ties.
The succession ceremony? We would have been in Tuliolal at the time. If it was as violent as you say, we should have felt it as well.
I have to admit, it was a touch strange, having seen my fair share of tremors. If I had to describe it, it felt more like the rumbling from an explosion.
That can't be good. Nope, not good.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Are you offering to help, Erinville?
Seriously? You're offering to help?
What about you, my friend? If you'd rather strike out on your own, I understand.
Though, if you were willing to lend us a hand too, we'd be truly tremendously grateful.
Fine.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm Shenza, by the way. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. If you would please step inside, I can introduce you to everyone.
Sorry for dragging you into this.
Well, can't be helped. Oh my god, is that? Well, I guess...
There they are.
Guess we found the sources.
That's them, the two volunteers.
Oh, man.
Walika is our station master, and over there is our top driver, Nitoikwe.
I'm not even gonna try to remember those names.
And this grizzled mug is Zapia, an engineer who joined around the same time as me.
From the first.
Much obliged for the help. I'll make it worth your while, I promise.
Yes! Yes, I knew it! I guess we found the source counterparts for these three.
The matter?
Oh, it's nothing. Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't get the joke, so it's fine.
Oh? For a moment, it looked to me like you were just dying to say something.
Well, I would say it, but you wouldn't understand
We
it.
all have our secrets. Best not to pry.
Oh, man.
Right then. What I'd like you two to do is help us procure timber. We'll be using it to fashion new railroad ties, so it needs to be the strongest stuff we can get. In these parts, that means the trees in the Piata-Yonan Plain. It is Hetsaro territory, though, so we need to get their permission first. Come on, no time to waste.
Well, this was a delightful surprise. Like, as soon as I saw, like, all three of them together, it was like, oh my god, this is just like an Amnarang. But it seems like the counterparts here have a much better life than their other parts in the first. Though no small number live in Shalone, I must confess that I have never visited the home of the Hisaro. As they largely live in accordance with older traditions, I suspect they may have a dim view of the railroads. Wait. Hold on. Nature. Are we going to run into, like, Kona's parents here? Because, remind me, wasn't Kona's parents like, part of that traditional wandering Makote. Come on, let's follow Walika. There's another station on the way, so be sure to drop in. The train will be in depot, and you can still see it from the outside. I'm quite taken with the sleek design of the head and myself, though if you peek through the windows, you could probably catch a glimpse of. Yeah, he's a train nut. Enough jabbering, Shenza. Thanks to these two, we finally have some real work to do, so let's get to it. Really? You just needed 2 volunteers, and that's it? We'll see you later. Suppose there's no harm in stopping at the station. It's on the way, after all. Oh boy. I mean, is that what's really going to happen, though? Are we going to run into Kona's parents? Maybe find out exactly what happened, like why he was left behind? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. We did run into Wuklamet's father, so maybe we find out more about the brother. I mean, Kona seems to have come to terms with all of that, so maybe it's not a good idea to bring it all up, but still. Oh boy. Oh, I see an aetheryte crystal in the distance. I was wondering if I could race over there, but you know what? We'll probably go there eventually, so. I must confess the train is an impressive sight. How easy it must be to ship goods throughout the wilds now. Not bad. Definitely not as, big or impressive as the Garleans, but hey. Right. I'm not going to try that name. Should be to the northeast of here. Let's continue on. I feel like they are using, unnecessary letters in these names. I know, I keep complaining about it, but I can't help it. I am not good with long names like that. English was perhaps my worst subject in school. And so it just brings it all back. And yes, it was the second worst for me. My worst subject would hands down be science. I had no patience for that. Ah, there you are. The village is just up ahead. Really? I couldn't tell. Truth be told, I never had direct dealings with the people of this place, but I do know that their traditions mean a great deal to them, as does the land. Just keep your eyes out for a green-haired Makote pair. Ah, such lovely clean air. It feels like a treat after the overpowering ceruleum of Shisaweshi Springs. The waters nearby are just as pristine. It's a paradise for people and animals both. I'm glad you appreciate the blessings of nature as we do. Greetings, travelers, and welcome. I am Hawato, chief of this place, and this is my son, Seputo. Yeah, they don't look like Kona's family. Nope. Be cool if they were, though. Pleasure to meet you. I thank you for the warm welcome and apologize for our sudden intrusion. I am Moleka, station master of Jacques Tourel's railing. The recent earthquake has damaged our tracks and we require timber to make repairs. This is Claire and Urenvel who have volunteered to assist us with the restoration effort. You have a most curious air about you. Oil and steel, tan leather, and the faintest hint of fair winds blown from a distant shore, though I know not where. I gather you are not from these lands. Wow, that's an impressive snoz you got there. Yeah, I'm a traveler of the star, for the most part. Not all of it, not yet anyway. Truly? I would love to know more of you and the lands you have seen. I'm told your people hold your traditions in the highest, yet I gather you are curious about those of others as well. But of course, nature is boundless, as is our love for her lands and her children. The Hitso, in particular, have done much to guide our way of life. Hi, kitty. Where to hunt, to gather, to lay our heads. The Hitso teach us all these things and more. For that reason, I believe we are attuned to the shifting winds around us. I see. The word Hitso, it means leader of souls in the Hirasaro tongue, does it not? It does. There are many creatures revered as Hitso among the Hiraso. Here we look to the runic for guidance. However, as you may have gleaned from our use of aetherites, while we are committed to our traditions, this does not mean we reject all outside influences. Very open-minded of you. What? That said, there are certain things that give us pause. We who furnish you with the timber you require. But first, as neighbors in this land, we ask that you indulge us in a discussion. We'd be glad to, of course. Alright, sure. Wonderful. We do not often receive guests come such a long way. And my son is always so delighted to hear their tales. Now if you'll follow me. First things first. Okay, so we got a fair amount here. If they follow the runic with the seasons, it makes sense that they would live in tents that can be broken down and transported easily. What is with that? Is that a flute? This tent is made with the hide and bones of runic. I wonder what else they are used for here. Say, do you like to hunt? And what weapons do you like to use? Oh boy! I mean, how long do you have? I will speak frankly. We fear the winds of change will soon bring misfortune to the lands. Well, that's not a good sign. The runic have made the potential for danger plain. As you may have heard, their temperament has become erratic of late. A stableman near Hasawathi mentioned that. Do you know what has caused this? We have our suspicions. Since others were drawn to this land by ceruleum, Shalone has undergone a transformation. And the railroads are part of that. Are you going to try to blame us for this? As strong and resilient as they seem, Roanoke are sensitive creatures. The roar of the train as it thunders through the plains may well cause them distress. As my father said, we do not necessarily reject outside influences or innovations, but in this we can't help but worry. Understandably. I thank you for being forthright. This matter concerns not only the Hirisaro, but all of Shalone. Perhaps we should bring it to the attention of Valcona. Valcona, you say? We know him only through rumors, but he is apparently... how shall I put this? Hard-headed and aloof, he values technological advancements and efficiency to the detriment of all else. Well, they're not wrong. Mind your tongue, Geppetto. It's okay, I'm sure you'd understand. While there is a grain of truth to the rumors, he is not nearly as bad as they make him out to be. He's a passionate man who cares for his people, like his sister. Is that so? Certainly a side of him we weren't aware of. Claire fought beside Valcona in the right of succession. I take her word over rumors. You took part in the right of succession? You're that close to the Dawn Servants? I was grateful for any help, but had no idea I had recruited a bona fide hero. The succession of Dawn Servants filled us with uncertainty for the future, but there is clearly much we do not know. On this particular occasion, the winds of change are not meant to be feared. No, we must open our hearts and minds that we might see Valcona for who he truly is. Do you think he might visit someday? Well, that might be tricky, given the situation. Just as his father offered us guidance, I'm hopeful he will do the same. Thank you for hearing and allaying our concerns. I'm glad we could speak. As for your timber, we have freshly cut logs near the lake. Please take all that you require. Well, that's generous of you. We're terribly grateful. Promise that we'll keep the Roanoke foremost in our minds as we continue working on the railroad. If needs be, we'll seek Valcona's counsel. My thanks again for your time and the timber. We shall endeavor to return the favor. I hope to see you again soon. Wow, you're just letting us go even though you had so many questions and wanted to hear our tales? Wouldn't have minded. But I guess they really want to get the story moving. You'll come back, won't you? There's so much I'd like to know about the lands beyond Toral. Let's talk again soon. Next time, perhaps, on a hunt together. Oh boy, what is with you guys and hunts? It's something I noticed with the Makote. Then again, they are feline, so I guess it makes sense. We've more than enough timber to fix the ties. Now we need to transport it to the station, which will be a bit more involved than I thought. Didn't expect we'd be given so much. Mind waiting here a spell while I round up a few more hands and a Roanoke? I won't be long. I'm glad that went well, and thankfully it seems we won't need to make several trips for the timber. Okay. I have a feeling that something is going to happen here, so I think we'll go ahead and cut it for right now, and so we can dedicate the next video to whatever chaos comes calling. Okay, so we'll do a quick recap and call it a day there. What do you say to that? I don't know. I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. It was a nice break from the story for a while. Got to really we were able to explore this area a lot more than, the other zones. So it's not as bright, not as colorful, not as busy, but you know what? I did like a much slower pace here, which I think that's really what we needed. Okay, we just needed a break. Like before, it was like we were running around trying to accomplish these feats. We didn't have any idea what we were doing. Wooklamette kept falling into like cenotes or something. And so here, we actually have time to, rest, go at our own pace, not have to worry about racing against like the other claimants here. So that was a nice change of pace. But something bad is coming. Okay, am I the only one here who senses that? The animals are a lot more aggressive. There's earthquakes going on that sounded not a regular quake, but more like an explosion, which I have a feeling that Zerosia is behind this somehow. I don't know how. But we should be rounding up our little adventure here in Shalone very, very soon, which means that we will have no choice but to go to Heritage Found next. That has to be the next area we're going to because we still don't know what the mysterious 6th zone is, though I'm willing to bet it's the City of Gold, which I really hope it does because I want to see what it looks like. And I still don't know how we get from the Old West to like future cybernetic punk. I don't know. So it's kind of driving me crazy trying to figure this whole thing out because I got pieces here, but none of them are connecting. So I think we'll just call it there for right now. Hopefully in the next video we get some more answers and we find out hopefully it will make sense to how we get to Heritage Found. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you so much for joining me today and I'll be seeing you all again soon. Bye.